Good evening, Ashburn City Council. Here's your agenda. June 5th. I'm told this will be amended. There are a couple of things that need to be added on to here. But there's what's supposedly on the agenda tonight. And there you go. They will be starting momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being with us tonight. We will call this June 5th council meeting to order. If you would please stand with me for the a moment of silence to be followed by the invocation. Ms. Pierce, will you do the honor?
Take a moment of silence for our citizens that have passed on. Oh, gracious eternal Father, we come to you today for the municipal court building here in the city of Ashburn, Georgia, asking you to help the mayor as well as the council, the city attorney, and the city manager intern make the best decisions for the citizens of Ashburn as well as the city of Ashburn. Lord, we ask you to keep your grace and mercy covered upon our city, because right now, Lord, we're all grieving in these times where we all keep losing loved ones day after day after day, and friends are losing their parents. Lord, let this be the
stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jill, may we have a roll call?
Yes. Councilmember Jonathan Perry,
Here.
Councilmember Sheldon Smith,
Present.
Mayor Sandra Lumpkin,
Present.
Councilmember Andrea Pierce,
Present.
Councilmember Corey Jordan,
Here.
Councilmember John Burgess,
Here.
Thank you. I want to ask you all to join me in a very, very special moment. We have a proclamation here honoring our longtime servant, Councilmember Andrea Pierce. I'm going to ask her to step down front with me while I read this proclamation. Everyone knows Miss Pierce, everyone knows how many years she has served our community as well as being in the armed services. I would like to read this proclamation. Proclamation honoring Andrea Denise Pierce, Purple Heart veteran and Mayor Pro Tem. Whereas the city of Ashburn is proud to recognize and honor one of its most distinguished citizens, Andrea Denise Pierce, a Purple Heart veteran, Mayor Pro Tem, and lifelong servant leader whose extraordinary contributions to our country, community, and fellow veterans exemplify the highest ideals of patriotism, compassion, and civic responsibility. And whereas Andrea Denise Pierce has honorably served in both the United States Navy and United States Marine Corps, bearing the wounds of battle and continuing her mission to service with unwavering dedication, love, and leadership. And whereas she has poured her heart and soul into her community through her roles as a board member of the Victoria Evans Memorial Library, Head Start Community Service Representative, Girl Scout Troop 0489 volunteer, and through involvement with organizations such as American Legion Post 98, International OES, DISTD 9, Ashburn, Georgia Monthly Collaborative, and as CEO of the Reach One, Teach One Scholarship Foundation. And whereas she has provided direct support and comfort to countless veterans and their families, paying utilities, taxes, providing transportation, shelter, food, clothing, counseling, and medical and dental care, while she was also offering her home and heart to children of deployed or incarcerated service members, and always making time to simply listen. And whereas Ms. Pierce has sponsored community-wide initiative, including high school proms, youth sports through Turner County Parks and Recreation, academic activities, JROTC programs, AAU activities, holiday celebrations, and memorial service, all while mentoring youth, empowering military families, and uplifting the underserved. And whereas she has honored her comrades in life and in death, performing administrative support for over 150 veterans, securing their full benefits, participating in motorcades, flag changing details, funeral services, hospital and nursing home visits, and even presenting a folded flag to the mother of her beloved gone son, a sacred act that reflects the depth of her devotion to the military family. And whereas Ms. Pierce has stood tall as a beacon of strength, service, and sacrifice, always guided by the principle, never leave no one or nothing behind. and now hears the call to care for herself after having cared so deeply for others. Now therefore, I, Sandra Lumpkin, Mayor of the City of Ashburn, Georgia, do hereby proclaim June the 5th, 2025 as Andrea Denise Pierce Day in the City of Ashburn, Georgia, in recognize of her lifetime of heroic service, transformative leadership, and unconditional love for her country and community. Let all citizens join in celebrating a woman whose life is a living legacy of honor, courage, and heart. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the City of Ashburn to be affixed this 5th day of June, 2025. I think all of us have always known how much Ms. Pierce has contributed to our community, and please be sure and give her a personal word of thank you when you get an opportunity. Thank you. All right, at this time, we've got to make one change to the agenda. Let's see. No, perhaps not.
Mayor, I'd like to add something to the agenda.
Yeah, we had, here at the last minute, we've got to appoint someone to the Joint Gas Authority. And in the years past, Ms. Ashley has done this. She represents the Joint Development Authority for Natural Gas. And if you have no objection, or you think of someone else you might want to appoint, we can discuss that now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going, Mayor, I'll make a motion that we add that to the agenda, that we look, review the Joint Gas Authority, and a nominee for that, the Development Authority, and ask Ashley to speak on that. So I make a motion that we amend the amended agenda to add that on there.
Thank you. I have a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next item on the agenda is approval of the May 1st, 2025 council meeting minutes. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the minutes with immediate changes where we'll be appointing someone to the, Joint Gas Authority.
Have a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right, Mr. Sheriff Andy Hester, you want to discuss the drug pound with us?
Yeah, I was, thank y'all for allowing me to come. I was asked by a couple of city council about this, I guess the dog situation. I don't know exactly what was discussed with y'all. I'm just here to answer any questions y'all may have about, the role I play in animal control for the county. And, any questions you have about what was discussed with you about the animal control or the animal shelter situation. So I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Well, I have a question. Our pound is equipped to only hold like 12, 13, if I'm not mistaken. And, I wanna know how many dogs you have a month, cats.
It varies. So I brought a list from last year, starting in January. We picked up 20 dogs, 1 cat. February, 27 dogs and 2 cats. March, 10 dogs, 3 cats. April, 8, and 10 cats. May, 13, 23 cats. Of course, I can provide y'all with this number. It varies. I guess the lowest number would be 9 and then 14 cats that month to 27 dogs and 2 cats. So it varies each month. Let me just fill y'all in on the animal control that I provide, so y'all have an understanding of what I do. So, I've been here a long time. I worked for two prior sheriffs, actually 3, for Lamar before he passed away. Animal control never done in the county. We never picked up dogs until Randy Kendrick was sheriff, and they done the service provider strategy in 2004. And then I believe the city of Ashburn picked up animals throughout the county. And during that time frame, for the first, I guess, couple of years, it worked pretty good. And it started to deteriorate to the point that if we called for somebody to come out at night, whether it was for personnel reasons or they just didn't come out at night and pick animals up, if we made a traffic stop and needed an animal taken from a traffic stop. And then it got to, the weekends, we get calls on the weekends and nobody could come out on the weekends. And I'm not certainly throwing any negative cast on the city, it's just what it was. For, y'all deal with stuff just like we do as it comes. So when I became sheriff, when citizens would call me and say, listen, I got a dog problem, or they're turning over my trash, or they're crapping in my yard, whatever the case may be, when citizens looked at me as an elected official, I said, we'll get it handled, no problem. And we started taking care of the problems. Since we investigated any crime committed involving animals, whether it be cattle or dogs, cats, or whatever it was, I'll take care of it. And I don't know if after that point, the city, what y'all just transferred y'all's personnel to just do inside the city. I know over time, that's been the practice, that y'all's animal control handled city stuff, and we handled everything in the county. Unless y'all had some issue where you didn't have somebody and a citizen called us, we went and handled it no matter where it was at, because that's what I'm elected to do, serve the citizens. So, I approached the county commission board and said, listen, I need a transport officer, and I need the person that's, to handle animal control, picking up animals and taking care of that situation for us. So they agreed to give me that position. And I've had that position ever since, and that person has done transport and animal control, and then a dual person also does civil papers and animal control, which is Lieutenant Fletcher, and Chrissy Carpenter, the other person that does the transport. We handle all the investigations when it comes to animal complaints in the county. We pick the animals up, and we used to contract with the city of Tifton to house those animals for us, because there was no dog shelter in Turner County and all, in Ashburn either. So we contracted with them. They went through a transition where the state came down because of their practice of euthanizing animals, and they stopped housing for us, and for anybody else too. They stopped housing, so we had to go out and look for somewhere to house animals. So we contracted with Worth County and Chris County now. We pay them $35 an animal, unless there's a vet fee, and then we take care of that vet fee in the time frame that they keep them. There's a certain time frame that they keep them, and then Worth County is a adoption shelter. They try to adopt them out. I don't even think they euthanize over there. Chris County is the same way. They try to adopt those animals out, and we try to do that. We don't, if there's a chance that these animals can be adopted out, that's what we prefer. But that's really, beyond what we're willing to invest in that animal. And it's a costly adventure to try to run a shelter, and I just don't want to run a shelter. Go ahead, Mr. Burgess.
I know it's, Worth County, I don't know if they still doing it, cause they called and asked, could we, I don't know if they heard about us in the county, they asked us to call me and ask me, could we house their dogs?
Yeah.
And how many years you
took office in 2011, it was probably late 2012, 2013, whenever I started doing it. So I had to logistically get the person to do it. And the deputies just did it up until I got the person to go out and investigate these crimes. So, you know, whether it's a state law or whether it's a county ordinance, we investigate. We have the authority to investigate that, and, you know, sheriff's office is exempt from service strategy, service delivery strategy. We're exempt from that. It's written into the law. So the animal control part that I took on to serve my citizens, I'm gonna do that, because I got to investigate the crime anyway. If it's a crime, if it's just an animal running large or straight, we pick it up. I do not wanna do a shelter. I conveyed that to the commission board, that I don't wanna run a shelter. It's a costly adventure, it's a lot of liability that goes with it, a lot of regulations. Even with the kennels we have behind our office, they come by and inspect those. But we still take them to Worth County. They stay fuller than they ever have. Is the reason I went to the board of commissioners and said I need some more kennels, not to run a shelter, but because my citizens, when you pick up somebody's dog and they call you and say, hey, I think you picked up, Fido, and we say, yeah, we got him, but we've already taken him to the shelter today, or, as soon as we pick him up, then they got to go over there and they got to pay the fee over there. And so I said, for my citizens' sake, I need to put some kennels behind the office, put those dogs in the kennel, give the opportunity for 5 days for a citizen to be able to come get their animal and have them travel outside the county. And that's what I did. So we got 5 kennels back there, but they often get too many animals in it, or either Worth County will say we're full, we can't hold them, so we have to hold on to them. Chris County the same way. If Worth County can't, we take them to Chris County. If Chris County says, hey, we're full, then I got to retain them and keep them. So that's the whole purpose that I went to the board of commissioners and said, I need a few more kennels, and somewhere, to take to an animal shelter. We're contracted with 2 shelters. And then they said, okay, that's fine. And then the next meeting, they said they had discussed it with the city of Ashburn, and we could bring them to a shelter in the city of Ashburn. I said, that's fine with me. I'm still gonna do animal control. I just need a shelter to give to. Of course, they said that they discussed prices and things like that, which that would be up to the city and the county. I just know that I'm gonna do animal control because the county, citizens call me when they have a problem. They don't call anybody else, they call the sheriff and say, I got a dog out here turning my trash out, what are you gonna do about it? And there's a county ordinance, I go out there and I either write a ticket or I don't write a ticket, and we take the dog, or we tell them they got so many times that we're gonna take the dog from them. Once we take them down there and put them in those kennels, I try to give the citizens an opportunity to come pick their dog up, and that's just a courtesy that I wanna give to the residents. And then it's turned into whatever it is now, so.
I heard we're gonna get sued,
Not by the sheriff.
but we can only hold what we can produce ourselves.
I'll just tell you, I don't wanna run a shelter. It's a costly adventure, and, if y'all do, that's y'all's business, and I would certainly wanna bring them to y'all to have them in the local, shelter. But there's, the Animal Control Act, there's a lot of stipulations in that as far as things that has to be done. I'm sure y'all know that, you run city government. And, but the citizens are gonna be looking at me, and if one of their animals are there, I'm certainly gonna wanna come and make sure it's done properly the way I would do it. And that's just a courtesy to the residents of the county. No disrespect to y'all at all, but they don't look at, if I didn't pick it up, they don't look at y'all, they don't look at me and say, you picked my dog up, whatever happened to it, you're responsible for it, so. But I'm here to answer.
We are under or we're just ready to get back under the auspices of the Humane Society. We got in a situation where they didn't work with us, but we're getting that straightened out. We have to go by their guidelines.
That's right.
We only have room for how many animals,
12, 13,
sir?
12 or 13.
And I'm sure y'all, I listen to the radio, I know y'all probably pick up as many dogs as we do. If you do it, and I run in a situation where you're full too, I'm still gonna have to contract with 3 different places to try to handle animals, cause we're not gonna get in the business of euthanizing them. It's just too much, you gotta do it properly, you gotta incinerate them, you gotta have an incinerator, and I'm just not, that's not what sheriff does, and I'm not gonna do it.
Well, this is a situation that, I don't see a good answer to right now.
It's a headache, I'll tell you that, animal control is.
Let us have some time to check into what we can and cannot do and to help you all out. Like I said, we go by Humane Society guidelines.
Right.
So we've got to get with them and.
Yeah, the state comes by and inspects our kennels behind the office, periodically, and they can, if I had 15 more, all I asked for was enough to take care of my overflow. Same situation, if y'all were doing it, you were full, I'd have to keep them until you could take them in, or somebody else could take them in, so I'm in a burden, my burden is what I was trying to handle, not create a burden for anybody else. I was just trying to handle a situation for the sheriff, in the sheriff's office, and, it still evidently will be that way. If you do decide to take them in your full, I'm still gonna need kennels, and so, whether the board of commissioners allow me to do that or not, I don't know, so.
All right, we will certainly take it under consideration.
Thank you.
Do some, checking and see what we can possibly do to help. Thank you. Ms. Pierce, you wanted to discuss the librarian,
Yes, again, Senate Bill 74, it did not pass on the floor, but, we have the June convention that's coming up in Savannah, and I submitted, Sammy's article to Georgia Municipal Association. They wanted to be, presented in a rapid fire session on June 22nd. Sammy will not be able to go, but Miss Christie is gonna go in her place, so I'm gonna allow, Sammy to, read her article. And I hope that we all decide to pay for the hotel room for Miss Christie for that night, she can go the day early.
And what did it concern you?
Rapid fire fallout at the convention in Savannah in June, 22nd. Senate Bill 74.
So it was, Ms. Pierce submitted, the library as a discussion topic for the GMA conference, is that correct? The GMA?
Yes.
And it was chosen. So her submission was chosen. They wanted to talk about libraries and the dangers of libraries in the future. And some of the things that I mentioned in my article, I don't have to read, I can just give you some bullet points. Senate Bill 74, as she mentioned, did not get out of committee in the Senate, but it's still a potential it could be in the next session. And it's essentially where, librarians can be charged with a misdemeanor for checking out what they consider as inappropriate material to children. We don't believe that's a librarian's job to monitor what your children are reading, that's the parent's job, and we don't know the content of all the books that they are reading. So that's why we really were fighting against that, so that's one of the things we talked about. Another thing that's come up in the library world that could potentially affect us is the, dismantling of the IMLS, which is the Institute of Museum and Library Services. As we know, President Trump put in an executive order at the end of March, and it pretty much effectively cut most of the employees from there down to from 70 to 12 right now. But the biggest fear right now is that we receive funding from the federal government through this institute, and it could affect all the libraries in Georgia because that funding from the grants program is for our Pines catalog system. So if we lose that funding, we could potentially lose our Pines catalog system for the state of Georgia. You won't be able to borrow books from other libraries. You can only rely on your current catalog you have in your library, unless you go to another library and check out. So that's another thing we were discussing. And another thing that we mentioned in terms of funding is we feel like we are a very we're a very common thing where we're rural libraries with limited funding from their funding agencies, and we're all trying to make the best of it. And some of the things we discussed was the programs that we have implemented to try to do it with minimal cost to the cities, counties, funding agencies. So that's another thing that was in my article. And so Chrissy was gonna discuss that as well.
Tell me this.
I will say that,
Could we pay for another for the library, the city of Ashburn, ain't
Well,
that legal?
as y'all know, we budget, I think it's $20,000 a year to the library out of city funds to support the library. I think that's the right amount.
21.8. 21.8.
I
So that
guess,
money couldn't come out that budget, and we already applied to them?
well, we've got budget time coming up if y'all wanted to contribute more money, but we don't know if we're gonna have the money to contribute.
I ain't with contributing more money. I'm just saying, paying for the room and stuff, is that legal?
So what y'all are really asking for is that we help pay for her going to this conference?
We feel at the library that we shouldn't have to pay because we were asked by the city to go. Because we really don't have the funds for travel and training. Our budget is.
All back the whole city knew about it. This is my first time hearing about it.
Okay, I'm sorry you didn't know about that. Councilman Pierce was the one who asked me to help her come up with a proposal, and she submitted it. I'm not sure, a couple months ago, I believe it was, it's been quite a bit. So, this just
Ms.
came.
Pierce, the only one that knew about it, looked like.
I'm sorry.
Well, Miss Pierce is she's on the library board.
But still, the county got paid, so everybody got nothing.
That's what we're talking about it today.
Yeah, nothing's been booked or anything yet, so we haven't
That's
booked,
what I'm talking about.
yeah, nothing's been booked. It's not until, I think, the 22nd of June, so there's time to decide if this is still going. She needs to let them know at the GMA if Chrissy's able to even, because Chrissy does not feel like she needs to drive 4 hours to Savannah and back in one day for a 7-minute presentation.
I must say this, Miss Christie has done an amazing job with the library. If y'all haven't been in there, she's just redone the whole library, and it's so much more convenient and, comfortable, and, you know, she's done really good things with the library. The conference is in this month, isn't it? See,
I think it's June 22nd.
Do you know the total amount?
I don't know clue how much the cost was. We
Yes.
were,
We were able to do an increase, right? Can you speak on that briefly? If you don't mind.
I've gotten as far as 3 departments. Admin, she goes up, the library goes under admin. Right now, I'm 100% certain we can give them 10% that I've allotted in our budget. That's all I can guarantee right now. Because I have not finished everything, but I do have it in the budget to do the 10%, which brings them up to 24,000 a year.
And it's what right now, 21?
21.8.
yeah, we've not increased our funding to the library in years.
I don't believe not, since when the director, I talked to the director who's no longer with us at the Coastal Plain Regional Library, she said that she had been there since 2015, it hadn't been increased.
Now, are y'all asking for room and board,
So,
gas?
I'm not well, all we're asking is that her room is covered, we can cover the gas if that's something she needs to submit on our behalf. We just felt like since we were asked on behalf of the city to go, that the city would provide accommodation, that's our question.
Me personally, I don't see why not. I mean, especially with the increase. I guess you could take it out of the increase, is what you were saying, but I have no problem with it. I mean,
Any other comments on that?
I don't know, how is the library? I mean, the library's already got a tight budget, I mean, pulling that out of what they're getting. I mean, if we ask them to go, I mean, that's, you know, that's the only thing, I mean, they didn't seek out to go to this.
that's true. I mean, either way.
Right, that's what I would
I'm
do.
with it too.
And if they weren't on a tight budget, I mean, I might look at it different, but I know they're ready to meet their budget this year also.
You think we
Well,
ain't?
let us pay.
Well, we didn't, but they didn't ask to go, that's all I'm saying.
You knew about it, Mr. Perry?
No, sir, this is the first time I've heard about it.
Me too.
Any other questions that I can answer about the library or anything? Okay, thank you.
What's the pleasure of the council? Comments?
Well, I say no. I mean, if we've had discussed and all that, I say no. I mean, we struggle ourselves. In that case, we go do the dog pound, we do stuff, you know, so I can send my mom over there to talk about the city and pay for her on the board. It have nothing to do with the city manager.
It's just something we need to vote on.
I don't think
Okay,
it's fair
I think
to
probably,
the taxpayer.
the best thing for us to do right now is I would like to ask, for a motion to, contribute expenses to Miss Christie to attend the, conference in Savannah on June the 22nd. May I have a motion?
I made a motion.
I have a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor? Roll call vote, please.
Jonathan Perry,
Yes.
Councilmember, Sheldon Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Andrea Pierce,
Yes.
Councilmember Corey Jordan,
Yes.
Councilmember John Burgess,
No.
We do have a majority, the motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Next item on the agenda is to discuss the purchase of a tractor to be used by the gas, water, sewer, and sanitation departments, and we would purchase this tractor with special purpose local option sales tax. Discussion? Adam, would you like to?
Yeah, if anybody has any questions about the purchase, willing to answer to the best of my ability.
You were pointing out that the repairs that are priced out does not actually fix the current tractor completely, right? It would still have issues.
I got a quote, actually got a quote today, an email. It's,
Adam, would you mind coming up where we can hear you a little better?
so I got a quote, from Flint Tractor, to repair the current tractor that we have. It's about $7,600.
Okay. But that's that, but that would completely, that would just get it back to.
Yeah, that'll get it back off.
Right, but that, is that the one that doesn't have four-wheel drive?
That's the one that has four-wheel drive.
Oh, it is, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we got, the street department has one that's not four-wheel drive. I think we spent about $3,500 on it, getting it off, because it has some issues with the front axle.
Tell me this, Mr. Adam, I see everything but the, you got water, gas, and sanitation, but I don't see street department on
You talking about for use of the
there.
tractor?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, basically everybody uses it, but it's, I mean, the type of tractor we need is different, it's a different need than the street department. So, I mean, we go in right of ways on the sewer easements, it's boggy, so we have to have a four-wheel drive tractor to do that. So typically, they wouldn't need it, I mean, in today's time, most everybody gets four-wheel drive, because it just don't make any sense to get a two-wheel drive tractor. So, I mean, if you're just mowing the side of the road, you don't need four-wheel drive, but we go with wet areas, all the sewer easements, run along the ditches, the storm drain ditches, and they get real wet.
What's the time frame on getting the one that's tore up fixed?
I don't know, I just got an estimate, because it's,
Now, and keep in mind, please, this would come out of our special purpose local option sales tax. It would not come out of our general fund. But have I asked you, how much is it?
for a tractor, it's according if we get an open station or a cab tractor. So an open station tractor is around 39,000. Cab tractor's about 46.
Ms. Lynn,
Yes, ma'am.
how do we stand in our special purpose, fund?
We can handle what he's asking for, yes. And it's
Yes.
split up between
Yeah, we'd like to have a cab tractor, because when you go on the sewer right of ways, there's hornets, there's yellow jackets, there's real possibility of getting, especially if somebody's allergic to them, they get stung up real bad, be a safety issue. And we got about 28,000 feet of sewer easement, but right around 5 miles, so we get behind on it.
All right, gentlemen, we have some discussion.
Are all these, accounts, all of my cocaine?
Well, I got 2 quotes from each, company or dealer. One for the open station, one for cab tractor. So one from Flint, one from Lasker, and one from Perry.
The one from last year, that's the one that has the cocaine.
Well, it just depends, all of them, I got a quote from all of them for a cab tractor now, and an open station.
What would be your recommendation? What, like from which one, which company, and which?
Well, as far as the warranty and the price for the value of what you get, it would be Perry.
The Kubota?
Yeah.
The one for 46,000?
Mhm.
And for somebody who doesn't know anything about farm equipment, what would be our benefit of buying over fixing?
Well, I mean, your current tractor is a 97. I mean, so it's older, it's getting the end of its life. I mean, a lot of those tractors, the engine will last a long time, but you start having a lot of issues in other places. And, I mean, if we invested that kind of money in it, and tomorrow it blowed up.
Right.
I mean, you put $7,000 in, and I talked with Perry to see what trade-in value on tractor is, about $3,500.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Adam. Any more discussion?
I'm gonna fix the old one and get the new one.
I have a micro.
Cause even the new one, go in the shop right now. I see even the new one have to be serviced and go in the shop.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
I can go to fix it. And that street part, you get that.
but it will be warranted, yeah. Got to do it.
Can we repair the other one out? Squash, we have to pay that out, but.
How much, Adam?
7,600.
We could work with that, yes.
I'm for a motion to purchase the 2025 Kubota tractor for $56,600 and also repair the old tractor for $7,600.
I have a motion, may I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Was that? Unanimous?
Yeah.
Motion carries, thank you, gentlemen and ladies. We haven't had a request from Turner County Board of Commissioners for an increase in the 911 costs. Do you all have a copy of this letter from the Board of Commissioners? I think it should be in your packet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Total expenses for E911 for year 25-26 is $679,252. The city's costs will come to $135,850, which breaks down to $11,320 each month. Payments are scheduled to start 30 days after July 1. Now, I'm assuming this $11,000 includes the cost of the increase for let's
right now we're paying them $10,412.33. That's a total of $124,947.96 a year. The increase would be $908.53 a month.
908.50,
908.53.
okay. Discussion?
I mean, isn't that really what we, or isn't that really, we don't really have an option until we renegotiate the service delivery strategy? That's what's in that,
Contract was signed in 2005.
but it's in a 10-year contract, so it negotiates again next year. Right,
It's actually negotiating right now.
right now, okay.
We have to renew it in February of '26, so we have to have it to, sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
We have to have it to SGRC by December 1st.
Okay. Not too bad.
More discussion, questions?
Now for motion to table.
I have a motion to table this request. I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor? Any opposed? None opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Whitney.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I interrupted, I apologize.
Okay, there being no more, business, I'm going to ask for a motion to go into executive session.
The added on for Ashburn.
The resolution.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think we've already agreed to do this, right?
Yes, ma'am. Y'all voted on it in the.
We need to,
January.
appoint somebody to represent the city of Ashburn, for participation in the South Georgia Energy Authority. Ashley's has been representing the city of Ashburn. Would y'all like to leave it like that, or you want to appoint someone else? Whatever. Discussion? Motion?
I have a motion to continue as Ashley Miller as the representative for the Joint Gas Authority.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor? Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Jonathan Perry,
Yes.
Councilmember Sheldon Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember, Andrea Pierce,
Yes.
Councilmember Coy Jordan,
Yes.
Councilmember John Burgess.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Thank you, Ashley, for volunteering to do that.
You're welcome, and then Adam has graciously agreed to help me with anything. He obviously knows more about gas stuff than I do, so. I'm gonna take him with me, I think. Yeah, I know you will. I'll make
Good.
it.
Very good. Thank you all. Thank you, gentlemen and lady. Okay, at this time I request a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of personnel.
I have a motion to go into executive session for personnel.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. We are in executive session. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I was getting them.